The rain started the moment Ava stepped out of the taxi. It wasn't just rain, it was a storm, wild and restless, as if the sky itself didn't approve of what was happening that day. Her fingers tightened around the handle of her small suitcase as she looked at the house in front of her. Tall, modern, with glass walls and dark bricks that looked both elegant and cold. It wasn't home. Not yet. Maybe not ever.
Come on, sweetheart, you'll love it here. Richard and Noah are wonderful people.
Ava forced a nod. She didn't want to argue, not today, not after watching her mother rebuild herself after years of loneliness, but inside, she couldn't shake the unease. Something about this felt too fast, too polished. They stepped inside the house, the scent of rain mixed with the faint aroma of old books and cedarwood. The living room was filled with quiet luxury, soft beige furniture, paintings that looked expensive but emotionless, and large windows that reflected the storm outside. "Richard's in his study," her mother said, placing her bag down. "And Noah should be home any minute." Ava's eyes drifted to the staircase that curved like a dark ribbon to the upper floor. For a moment, she thought she heard footsteps. Soft, deliberate, and slow. Then he appeared. Noah Hale. Tall, broad-shouldered, a calm face that didn't give much away, but his eyes carried a weight she'd never seen in someone his age. They were gray, almost silver, like storm clouds, frozen mid-thunder. Their gazes met for a second, only a second, but it was enough.
Hi, you must be Ava.
Yeah, and you're my new brother.
Something about him unsettled her, not because he was rude, but because there was a sadness in his eyes that didn't match his words, like he'd been carrying something heavy for years and had learned to hide it perfectly. That night, as Ava unpacked her things in her new room, she heard soft piano music echoing through the halls. It was coming from downstairs, slow, haunting, and achingly beautiful. She peeked out of her room and followed the sound. The living room lights were dim. Noah was sitting at the piano, his fingers moving gently across the keys. He looked lost in the melody, unaware she was watching. Then suddenly, he stopped.
You shouldn't be up this late.
Sorry, the music, it's beautiful.
Don't go in the basement.
She blinked. What? The next morning, Ava couldn't stop thinking about his words. Don't go in the basement. Why would he say that?
Oh, that? Richard keeps his old blueprints down there. It's just messy. You know how architects are.
Ava nodded, but something in her gut told her there was more to it. That night, she dreamed of footsteps beneath the floorboards, of piano notes echoing from the dark, and when she woke up in the middle of the night, she thought she heard whispering coming from the basement door. She got up to check. The door was locked, but she could swear she saw light flicker underneath. The next morning, sunlight cut through the curtains like golden knives. Ava woke with a strange heaviness in her chest, that uneasy feeling you get when something feels wrong, but you can't explain why. She sat up and stared at her phone. 3:17 a.m. That's when she'd last checked it. That's when she thought she saw the light beneath the basement door. Now it was gone. The house looked normal, calm, but she couldn't shake the memory.
Downstairs, the smell of coffee filled the kitchen. Her mom was laughing softly with Richard, who looked every bit the perfect husband. Clean suit, gold watch, polite smile. The kind of man who made people feel safe. "Morning, sweetheart," Elena said warmly. "Sleep well?"
Yeah, mostly.
Noah was there too, sitting at the table, scrolling through his phone. He didn't look up. He wore a gray hoodie, his hair slightly damp as if he'd just showered or been outside.
Ava wanted to ask him about last night, about the basement, but his silence made her hesitate. "Noah tells me you're into photography," he said with a polite smile. "We have a beautiful forest behind the house. Maybe you could take some pictures there. You might even find inspiration."
Dad, that's not a good idea. There's wildlife. It's not safe.
Their eyes met, father and son, and something unspoken passed between them. Ava noticed it immediately. It wasn't a normal disagreement. It was like they were hiding something. Later that afternoon, Ava went for a walk around the property anyway. The forest stretched endlessly, mist curling between tall pines and silver birch trees. The air smelled like rain and earth. It was beautiful, but there was an eerie quietness. No birds, no rustling. Just the faint echo of her own footsteps. As she wandered near the back of the house, she saw a small window near the foundation, half buried under vines and mud. It was the basement window, Something made her kneel and brush the dirt away. The glass was fogged, but she thought she saw movement, a shadow shifting, then suddenly, a knock from the inside. Ava jumped back, heart pounding. She stared for a full minute, but nothing happened again. Maybe it was her imagination. Maybe not. That evening, she tried to act normal at dinner, but her mind kept returning to that knock. When she glanced at Noah, she noticed something strange, a faint scratch on his hand, like he'd scraped it against metal.
Their eyes met briefly. He saw her staring and his jaw tightened. "Rough day?" she asked softly, trying to sound casual.
Just fixing things.
"What kind of things?"
Noah looked straight at her, and for a second his eyes looked almost pleading. Things you shouldn't ask about.
Ava, dear, how's the forest? Peaceful, isn't it?
"Yeah, very peaceful."
But she could feel Noah's eyes on her again, not angry, not cold, but filled with a quiet warning. That night, she couldn't sleep. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind made her heart race. Finally, around midnight, she heard it again. Piano music, soft, sad, coming from downstairs. She slipped out of bed and tiptoed through the hallway. The sound grew clearer. That same haunting melody as before. When she reached the living room, she froze. Noah wasn't at the piano. The seat was empty, but the keys were still pressing down, by themselves. Her breath hitched. The music stopped abruptly, leaving only the hum of silence. Then, from the basement door, came a faint sound, like whispering. Ava's pulse thundered in her ears as she approached. She reached for the handle. It was still locked. And then... thud! A heavy sound from inside, like someone slamming their hand against the door. She stumbled back, trembling.
I told you not to come here.
"What's in there, Noah?"
You really don't want to know.
The next morning, everything looked normal again. Sunlight, birds, her mom humming in the kitchen. But for Ava, the calm felt wrong, like a movie set, perfect only on the surface. She kept replaying last night in her mind, the self-playing piano, the whispers, the thud behind the basement door, and Noah's words, "You really don't want to know." But curiosity was stronger than fear. Always had been. So, after breakfast, when her mom and Richard left for town, Ava saw her chance. Noah was still upstairs. She could hear faint guitar music coming from his room, so she quietly slipped down the hall and stopped in front of the basement door. It was locked again. Same old heavy brass padlock. But this time, she came prepared.
She took out a thin bobby pin from her hair and bent it. "You two better not have lied," she whispered nervously.
She knelt, fumbled, twisted, and then click. The lock popped open. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. She hesitated for a full minute before pulling the door open. A cold wave of damp air hit her face. It smelled like dust, rust, and something faintly metallic. She turned on her phone flashlight and started down the wooden stairs. Each step creaked softly. At the bottom, the space opened into a surprisingly large basement. Shelves lined the walls, old boxes, tools, jars, broken furniture, and at the far end a door. Smaller, metal, bolted shut from the outside. Her breath caught. That's where the sound had come from. She moved closer, shining her light over the metal surface. There were scratches near the bolt, as if someone had tried to claw their way out. Her fingers trembled as she reached out and touched it, and then she heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Someone was inside. She stumbled back, covering her mouth to keep from screaming. Noah's voice echoed down the stairs, sharp, urgent. Her light flicked toward the staircase. He was there, breathing hard, eyes wide with anger and fear.
"What are you doing here?"
I heard something. There's someone in there."
"No, don't open it!"
"Why not? Who's inside, Noah?"
He looked like he was struggling, like every word hurt.
"If I tell you, you'll never look at me the same way again."
"Then tell me anyway."
Noah hesitated. Then, to her shock, he unlocked the metal bolt. The hinges creaked as he slowly pulled the door open. The smell hit her first. Old blood, mold, something rotten. She raised her flashlight and froze. Inside the small room was a table, medical equipment, a single chair, and photos. Hundreds of photos pinned to the wall. All of the same person. Ava. Her heart stopped. Her pictures from social media, from school, even from her old bedroom. Pictures she never posted anywhere.
What is this?"
"I didn't take those."
"Then who did?"
Before he could answer, the sound of a car door slammed outside. Her mother was home.
Please, don't tell anyone you saw this. Not yet.
Why? Why are there photos of me in your basement, Noah?
He looked at her, eyes wet, trembling, and whispered something that made her knees weaken.
It's not me, Ava. It's him.
Noah's voice cracked. Ava stumbled backward, the flashlight shaking in her hand. The world around her blurred, the smell, the silence, the horror of the realization. Richard, her stepfather, the man who smiled over breakfast, who offered her coffee that morning, who looked so kind, had filled this room with pictures of her. The metallic taste of fear filled her mouth. And then she noticed something else on the wall. A recent photo of her sleeping, taken through her bedroom window. Her blood went cold.
Narrator. Before she could react, Noah locked the metal door again. Noah, you have to trust me, he said desperately. He's not who he says he is.
Narrator. Ava looked at him, tears burning in her eyes. Ava, then tell me the truth, Noah. Everything.
Narrator. Noah glanced up the stairs, voice trembling. Noah. Not here. He's watching the cameras. We'll talk tonight, when he's asleep. Narrator. He grabbed her hand and pulled her toward the staircase. Noah. Please, Ava. Just act normal.
Narrator. They emerged into the sunlight like nothing had happened. Narrator. Richard was unloading groceries from the car, smiling warmly when he saw them.
Richard. There you two are, exploring the house again?
Ava. Yeah, just the storage area.
Richard. Careful down there. Some doors are better left closed.
Narrator. Her heart skipped a beat. Narrator. His tone was light, but his eyes weren't. That night, Ava sat in her room, waiting for Noah's signal. Her phone buzzed. A message. Noah, meet me by the piano at midnight, don't let him see. Ava swallowed hard and typed back, Ava, I'll be there. Midnight came like a whisper. The house was silent, except for the steady ticking of the clock in the hallway. Ava's heart pounded as she tiptoed down the stairs. Every creak of the floorboards felt like an explosion in the quiet night. The living room glowed faintly under moonlight. The grand piano sat there, black and gleaming, like a shadow waiting. Noah was already there. He was sitting at the piano, head bowed, fingers hovering over the keys. He didn't turn when she entered.
I had to. I need to know the truth.
He finally looked up, and she was startled by how different he seemed. Pale, tense, eyes haunted.
I didn't want you to find that room. Not yet.
You mean the room full of my photos? How long has he been watching me?
Noah looked away. Since before you moved in.
What?
He nodded, guilt etched on his face. My father, Richard, started watching you online 2 years ago. He said he was fascinated by your innocence. I didn't realize how far it had gone until I saw the cameras.
Cameras? What cameras?
He's got them all over the house. In the vents, behind mirrors, even in your room.
You're lying.
I wish I were. I've been collecting proof. He doesn't know I found his files.
The piano lid creaked as he set the drive on top.
There are videos on here. Hundreds. He records everything. Conversations, showers, even when you sleep.
Tears burned Ava's eyes. Why would he?
Because he's sick. He was like this with my mom, too.
What happened to your mom?
Noah stared down at the keys, pressing one softly. A single note hung in the air. She died. They said it was suicide.
You don't believe that, do you?
He shook his head. I found her last letter. She wrote that she was afraid of him, that he was planning something. The room felt smaller. Ava's pulse thundered in her ears.
So what now? We go to the police?
Noah hesitated. I tried. They didn't believe me. Richard's rich, connected. The police in this town won't touch him.
Then we run.
He looked at her, pain flashing across his face. You think I haven't tried? He tracks everything. Phones, cars, even the Wi-Fi. The realization hit her. They were trapped. Suddenly, footsteps creaked upstairs. They both froze. Noah stood up silently and gestured for her to hide behind the curtains. Seconds later, Richard appeared at the top of the stairs, wearing his robe, eyes half open, but there was nothing sleepy about his expression.
Couldn't sleep, Noah.
Just playing piano.
Richard descended the steps slowly, his eyes scanning the room. He paused by the piano, running his hand across its surface. His fingers brushed the flash drive, but didn't notice it. Ava held her breath behind the curtains. One wrong move, one sound, and he'd see her. Richard turned toward Noah. You know, son, he said in a calm, eerie voice, sometimes people shouldn't dig into things they don't understand. Richard smiled thinly, like old secrets. He leaned close to him and whispered something that made Ava's skin crawl. "You look more like your mother every day." Then he turned and walked back up the stairs, the air thick with menace. The second the footsteps faded, Ava stepped out, trembling.
He knows.
Yeah, and now we're out of time.
What are you going to do?
He picked up the flash drive, his eyes cold now. Determined. I'm going to end this, Ava. Once and for all.
Outside, thunder rumbled. The storm had returned, and so had the danger. As lightning flashed through the windows, Ava realized something terrifying. Noah's tone wasn't just protective, it was vengeful. Whatever secret Richard was hiding, Noah wasn't just exposing it, he was ready to destroy him for it. The next morning, the mansion looked peaceful again, but it was the kind of peace that comes before a storm. Ava hadn't slept all night. Her mind replayed every word Noah said. Cameras, files, his mother's death. Now, sitting in the kitchen, staring at a half-drunk cup of coffee, she felt sick. Every corner of the house looked suspicious, every mirror possibly watching her. Then Noah appeared, dressed in black, his eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses.
We're leaving tonight, he said flatly.
Ava's heart leapt.
You have a plan?
And we'll need to make it look like an accident.
She followed him into the garage. There, among rows of luxury cars, he revealed a small metal case. Inside it, wires, a USB, and a tablet screen showing live security footage.
You hacked the system?
He smiled grimly.
I designed half of it. He never knew.
The screens flickered, showing every room in the house, including one that made her heart stop, her bedroom. She saw herself sleeping, tossing and turning under the covers.
He watches me every night.
Not after tonight.
They spent the day pretending everything was normal. Richard acted like the perfect father, cooking breakfast, asking Noah about work, complimenting Ava's dress, but his eyes lingered too long, and every smile felt like a warning. When night fell, rain started again. It was as if the sky itself was watching. Noah led Ava to his room, closing the door behind them.
Once we start, there's no turning back, he said. You ready?
Just tell me what to do.
Noah opened his laptop and inserted the flash drive.
I copied everything to an encrypted folder. Videos, emails, bank transfers, proof that Richard's been paying hush money to people who saw too much.
Including your mom?
He hesitated, then nodded.
He bribed the coroner to close her case.
Oh my God.
Noah's voice hardened.
He killed her, Ava, and now he's gonna pay.
His plan was simple and terrifying. He would expose Richard's secrets to the media and the FBI at midnight, using an automated upload that couldn't be stopped once triggered. But before that, he wanted one final conversation.
I need him to confess, on camera.
That's dangerous.
I know. That's why I need you to stay hidden, until I give the signal.
At 11:30 p.m., the mansion went dark. Power cut intentionally. Only candles flickered across the hall. Richard was in his study sipping whiskey when Noah entered.
Working late, Dad?
Noah asked casually.
Couldn't sleep. Something about thunder always keeps me awake.
Funny. Mom used to say that too.
Your mother said a lot of things.
Like how she wanted to leave you?
The smile vanished from Richard's face.
What did you do to her?
You should be careful with your words, son.
Noah pressed a hidden button on his watch. The camera in his shirt collar began recording.
Tell me, did she really fall from that balcony? Or did you help her?
Silence. Then Richard laughed. Low, dark, chilling.
She was weak. I only gave her a little push. She wanted to ruin everything. The company. My name. You think I'd let that happen?
You're a monster.
And you're just like her. Emotional, reckless, naive. Now be a good son and forget what you think you heard.
Not this time.
Suddenly, the thunder roared, lightning flashing through the windows, and Richard's screen lit up behind him.
It's over. The world knows.
Richard lunged across the table, grabbing Noah by the collar.
You'll regret this.
No, you will.
He pushed his father back, sending the whiskey glass shattering. In the hallway, Ava covered her mouth, tears streaming as she watched from the shadows. Richard stumbled, trying to shut the system down, but it was too late. The files were already uploading, all his crimes, his secrets, everything laid bare. And then, something unexpected happened. A gunshot echoed. Ava screamed and ran into the room. Noah was standing there, gun in hand, shaking. Richard was on the floor, blood staining the carpet.
Noah.
She whispered, horrified.
It was self-defense. He tried to stop me.
You didn't have to.
I did, for my mom, for you, for everything he took from us.
The sirens began to wail in the distance.
We have to go.
But Noah didn't move. He just looked down at Richard's body, his expression unreadable.
I'm not running anymore.
Ava's heart shattered.
Noah, please?
He looked at her, eyes filled with both love and pain.
Promise me one thing, tell the world why I did this.
Before she could reply, the police lights flashed outside the window. Noah dropped the gun and raised his hands. The night was cold, the kind of silence that felt almost haunted. The rain tapped softly against the glass windows of the old house as Lily sat in the living room, her heart still aching from what she had discovered, the birth certificate hidden in her mother's drawer.
You found it, didn't you?
Why didn't you ever tell me that Alex, my stepbrother, was your son too?
Because I didn't know how to. You were too young when everything happened. I thought I could bury the past, but I was wrong.
So he's not just my stepbrother, he's
He's your half-brother. I made mistakes, Lily. Ones I can't ever undo. I was married once before your father, to a man I loved but couldn't keep. Alex was born from that marriage. When I remarried your father, Alex stayed with his father for years. But after his death, Alex came to live with us. I thought I could rebuild my life. I didn't think you two would.
fall in love. You thought wrong, Mom.
You have to understand, Lily. I didn't plan any of this. I wanted both of you to have a normal life. But when I saw how close you were getting, I panicked. That's why I kept pushing him away. Why I made him leave last year. I thought distance would fix everything.
You broke us. You broke me. You made me believe he didn't care.
I did it to protect you. From the truth. From this pain.
But it was too late. The truth had already burned through everything.
Lily, what are you doing here?
I know everything now about you, about Mom, about us.
Then you know why I left. Why I couldn't stay.
I don't care what the world says. I don't care what names they give it. All I know is I loved you and that love was real.
Lily, we can't undo blood. What we had, it wasn't meant to be.
But it was love. You felt it too.
Every second of it.
They stood in silence, the storm outside echoing the chaos within them. The past had stolen their innocence, their future, their peace, but in that moment, they both knew one thing. Their love, forbidden as it was, had been the purest thing in their lives. And sometimes love wasn't meant to last. It was meant to change you forever. The next morning came wrapped in silence. The storm had passed, but the world outside still looked gray, as if the clouds themselves were grieving. Lily woke up to find Alex's jacket draped over her shoulders and the faint smell of his cologne lingering in the air. For a moment she let herself believe everything would be okay, that he was still there. But when she turned toward the table, her heart stopped. There it was, a white envelope, folded neatly beside the empty coffee cup. Her name was written in Alex's handwriting. Her fingers trembled as she opened it.
Lily, by the time you read this, I'll already be gone. Not because I don't love you, but because I love you too much to destroy you. What we shared was real. Every laugh, every look, every heartbeat that echoed between us. It was everything I ever wanted. But it's a love we can't carry forward. You deserve a life unshadowed by my mistakes or our mother's secrets. You once asked me what I was most afraid of. I said losing you. But the truth is, I'm more afraid of ruining you. I don't know where I'll go, but I'll start over somewhere far away, where no one knows my name, where the ghosts of our past can't find me. Maybe one day you'll forgive me. Maybe one day you'll fall in love again. And this time, it will be someone who can stay. But if you ever doubt what we had, remember this. It wasn't wrong because it was forbidden. It was beautiful because it was us. Alex.
The words blurred as Lily's tears fell onto the page. She clutched the letter to her chest, her sobs echoing in the empty house. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The world kept moving, but Lily's heart stayed frozen in that moment.
If you're out there, Alex, I hope you found peace.
Some love stories don't end. They just learn to live in silence.